Hi, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sonia Sunhart, and I am a yoga teacher, a geographer, a truth seeker, um, not easy to categorize, free thinker. And tonight actually is Easter Sunday. And it's also my daughter's birthday. She's 5 years old. And yeah, and I wasn't planning to do a video, but I realized that there are people right now that are interested in a lot of the stuff that I've been studying and talking about. And I'm feeling the need to share. And I want to thank everybody who joined last week in the mass global meditation. I know that the live didn't work on Facebook. I had a few friends that the same thing happened. I don't know exactly what happened that night, but there was some kind of interference, which happens sometimes. And a lot of people are using technology like never before right now, which is amazing. And I'm learning also to use Zoom in different ways and to create more of what I'm doing on a platform. Because right now, lots of people can't get together. We're in this quarantine, or quantum leap is probably a better way to look at it. Again, it's how we're looking at things that is really becoming obvious right now. I read something, I think it was yesterday or today, I don't know. Time is very elusive these days. um, but I read that we're either in the portal of ascension or the pothole of descension. And I thought that was pretty funny because, um, yeah, we talk a lot about ascension right now in the spiritual community and what is that. And to me, I'm understanding it to be is really us choosing our higher self and our higher timeline. And what does that look like? Well, it looks like self-love. It looks like going into those places where, like I talked last time about shedding the layers and the masks and the illusion, and going more and more into our true authentic self. And I wanted to share something that this channel I've mentioned a few times, that I've been on this journey of a very deep, loving relationship that has brought me into um, a lot of awareness, a lot of confusion, a lot of pain, and a lot of ecstasy, a lot of different emotions that go often with these relationships that I know some of you are, we call it twin flame or soulmates or things like that. Um, and I was on that journey, and I wanted to, I couldn't really talk about it most of the time, but there were often times where I would be making a video like this and hoping and that, that he would see it, and that somehow that would trigger something, that we would be able to communicate about it or things like that. And, but I had a really hard time with surrendering to what was happening. I'm someone who, I like to control my life. I like to control my temperature on my thermostat. I mean, I grow up, we grow up in this like comfort, right? And when we're taken out of that and into the unknown, like we are right now collectively as well, it can create a lot of, turmoil and fear and anxiety and things like that can come up. And as much as I have a very positive nature, I can go into the depths of very dark and despairing places. And I have done that a lot in my life. And I've had very dark experiences also. Maybe I didn't understand how my thoughts and my emotions create my reality and will amplify. So if I'm thinking, that I'm afraid and I'm walking in the dark, and maybe there's going to be people are going to attack me, and oh my God, and then I start, well, then weird enough, there might be people that show up and that start running after me, and I have to run for my life because they're out to get me. And I've had all these like crazy, crazy situations like from the past. And I'm not going to go into all that, but I've had near death experiences and drug overdose and, you know, these very heavy things that I'm sure many, many people in this reality at this time have gone through. But it's when we come out of it, we are reborn, we rebirth into more of our higher self. And right now, this is a global awakening happening. It's huge. It's the fact that people are forced to stay inside, and to look at themselves and to look at the people they're living with, and what matters, and how all this reality was taken for granted on some levels, and maybe the overconsumption, and for me to create what I'm creating here in this space, and also what I'm going to be offering through my own program that I'm working on, is to really align with your true essence. Because the more we do that, and I'm continuing to do this on a daily basis, is your true essence is that you're divine, and you're unique, and you have to love that. Not compare yourself to anybody else. There's only one you. And once you really go into that place of more and more of that self-love, and bringing it in and calling it in, and spending time with it, and spending time in nature, and nurture nature, just really fully stepping into that, it's just, you start to create the world that you want. You start to bring in heaven on earth. And I believe these times are really about that. And we're making choices, about where we want to be on an organic, beautiful ascension, um, in love, because that's the frequency that will bring us there. Or, we are choosing to go into lower frequencies to continue having experiences until finally we break free from that. So again, people are experiencing that in the way that they have chosen in their souls, but they might be looking for answers right now. They might be, seeking truth. And I know I've been on that path for quite a while now, especially probably more in the last 10 years when my mom passed away, and I went on a silent retreat in nature, and I fasted, and I started yoga. That's when I was introduced to Kundalini yoga, which is extremely powerful to activate your Kundalini energy, which is your life force. And once that happens, you're not the same person anymore. You really need to be with yourself more and more. And sometimes it can create chaos in your home life, in your family life, in your marriage, and all of that. And there are choice points again where you can go back to what you've always known, or you can step up your own game. And I say game, I mean your life, your embodiment. I don't mean to say game in a like this is all a game or any of that, but the Maya, I mean the avatar human that we come in as. And so what triggered me wanting to come on tonight is to be authentic about the journey that I've been on, that's brought me here. If I don't share that, then there's a big part of my own ascension journey that I'm denying, or that I'm bypassing. Because spiritual bypassing is something that is well known in spiritual communities. And you won't get into the raw and um, the the aspects that are darker within ourselves, that we're not always willing to go into, because they can be really painful, and they can create a fire. And what's happening is that the ego is actually um, being transcended to a certain extent, although we're always going to have a certain ego with, well, not always, I don't know. Always and never are words that I don't like to use very much because I don't know. I mean, right now it seems like it's that, but it might not be. And that's the thing. The truth is constantly evolving. That's why I love these scientists who are ready to say the truth and not just follow because they might lose their jobs, because they've discovered something that just overwrites everything that used to be said before, like Bruce Lipton, and then they ridicule him and they get him to, then they say, and at first it's often like that. There's a lot of resistance, just like we see in history. It's always like that. At first, Gandhi said, at first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. So this whole thing with conspiracy, same thing. As soon as you're talking about something outside the mainstream, outside the box, a lot of people are like cognitive dissidents and going like, this does not fit with anything that I've learned most of my life. So therefore, I'm going to eliminate it. I'm going to eliminate you speaking this because you obviously are not, aligned with what most people are thinking. But that's what it is. So so this thing that inspired me tonight actually was from a post on Instagram. And there's a lot of posts on Instagram, and I scroll, I spend time. I don't have a TV, but I do, connect on Facebook with a lot of people, and I'm grateful for that because I'm out here on my own a lot. And this way I have the social aspect, but I also have a lot of time and space to go within and to know thyself on that deeper level, which I believe we are meant to do, but we're all doing it at different uh, paces, or, you know, we're in different states at different times in our lives. And so everyone's on that journey in different ways. And I totally honor that. Some are not aware of it, don't care, don't want to know, and that's also fine. So what I read here was from Les Esprits Libres, which is beautiful illustrations that she does. And it says, true love requires vulnerability. True vulnerability means to feel and allow everything within yourself as much as possible, especially where it feels so uncomfortable or painful that you might come undone. This means revealing all the hidden thoughts, feelings, and secret agendas that you keep hidden from others. Secrecy is often the hallmark of shame and can block humility, which blocks vulnerability and therefore true love. The longer secrets are kept, the longer they haunt you. Over time, they build up layers of shame, regret, and judgment, fear, anger that corrodes away one's soul and relationships. It creates barriers on many levels due to scheming or playing out strategies to hide oneself in fear of being exposed. The more you hide yourself and neglect to accept what is within you and set it free, the more you're suppressing your soul and destroying its capacity to truly love and be loved. The more you reveal and express yourself, being with who you truly are, rather than what you would like or what you would like others to see, the closer you come to true love in a very practical and tangible way. And by doing this, everything in your life transforms for the better in ways you could not have imagined because you're no longer blocking the flow of life through you. We have the capacity to change everything through love if only we allow ourselves to first accept things as they are and be vulnerable with what is and live truthfully. So again, I just was really inspired by this text because I realized that this past week has been intense emotionally for me on many levels. One was that there was a musical album that came out that was created by this man that some of you know already, some of my story, but I don't go into a lot of my personal life. But this was this, twin flame relationship, the catalyst that, brought me into more of myself on many levels. And this whole album is our story, basically. And it's called Soñando, which is partly my name and partly means the dream. and the dreamer. And, I'm known to be a dreamer. I've always been a dreamer, but I also put actions behind, because that's the whole female male balance, is the female, receptive dream, dark, subconscious. And then the male is the action, is the daytime, is the, and the protector and all that, and is action driven. So when you have both, you can dream, but then you can put the actions behind it. And when you're being guided, when you're divinely guided, you're in a flow of what needs to be done next. And you just kind of start trusting that. And that's a beautiful place to be, because you're not doubting anymore. You're really feeling the support of the divine, and you're also meaning synchronistic. The divine is always there to serve you. And when you're grateful, to those who have, more shall be given. There's a lot of sacred texts that talk about, and even Greg Braden's latest book is called, what is it again? The Wisdom Codes. And it's all about these texts and mantras and how they empower us. And I love this stuff, and this is what I spend a lot of time in my own doing. That's why I don't really have a TV, and I don't like to get all distracted because I like to focus on these universal truths about who we are, what we are, why we're here. What is my service here? What am I made of, that I can offer here? And part of that is, I'm a mother, and I take care. I have children, and but then again, often that was distorted, as in, like, I'm there to serve them and all their needs, and same with the planet. I'm an environmentalist, and I have to take care of the planet. I have to heal that, and then I have to heal the people that are, and it was like this constant thing where I feel like I have to be healing or serving everybody, but then I don't exist, or I'm like, and then there came a point where it's like, who am I? Who is this person? Like, how did I get here? Where? And they call it midlife crisis when you go into your 40s and all that. But I think there is a time where we have to stop. We just stop and go within and say, I need to find some answers here. And that can be when somebody dies close to us, or another trigger that that sparks that actually our souls, already kind of know the story. Everything is already outlined. And when we make aligned choices in our destiny, then the doors open. But when we're going against it, we're realizing that there's something off here, and I really need to figure this out. And we can look online, and I do that as well, research and connect the dots and see, because I'm a skeptical. I always have been. I don't just follow orders. I don't just obey. I see how, like, what that's done to civilizations and humanity when it's like, was yesterday that this happened in Nazi Germany, so, and genocide and all of this. So part of me doesn't want to believe that certain agendas or things are happening that are, could be quite dark. But another part of me is not going to be naive and pretend that that might not be happening. Or so I'm being vigilant. I'm listening to many sides of what's going on, and then trusting my own inner guidance. And I hope that you're going to be able to do that more and more yourself, because honestly, it is the only way. The way through is in, and it is our Christed being. And what's happening now also with this ascension process that we're in with, I mentioned before, like the Schumann resonance, which is the frequency of our planet, is at 7.83 hertz on a regular basis, just like our heartbeats. So we're in sync with the planet, and 70% water, we're 70% water. And when you see the patterns of a tree and lungs and veins and rivers and streams and all that. We're reflecting. We're made of the same substance. That's why we're biological human beings on this planet. So we're here to embody that and to understand it and to experience it fully. Now, what's happened is we've had an overlay of control that has diminished our ability to experience ourselves fully. And I think what's coming now is really that place where we are choosing globally, just like we did with that meditation last week, where there were, I, I don't know what the numbers are exactly, but they were over 1 million, definitely, maybe several million. And that has shifted. There's recorded that it shifted. The Schumann resonance spiked up to about 60 hertz. Now, anything over 30 or 40 hertz is really looking almost like another. It's like for us another dimension or another frequency. So what that means is as our frequencies rise and the planet, because sometimes the planet has the planet is going through her own ascension, and the beings on her planet need to understand that they also need to upgrade into this ascension to be able to process the in stream of light, of plasma light coming in. And this is shifting our DNA into more crystal based versus carbon based. And so all this is happening, and we don't know, time is, again, we don't know the time and how that all works. But what I do know is that it's free will, so that when you choose and when you speak it, and when you have faith and believe that this is happening, you can stream more and more light into your vessel. And in this way, and a lot of it has to do with the heart. And so the Heart Math Institute has incredible information if you want to go deeper into that. I studied that as well. But really what it is, it's the heart-brain coherence, meaning that you're making decisions that are coming from your heart. Not from your mind, and not from the ego, but really from the heart. And how do you do that? And there's all these techniques that's some of the things that I've been studying for so many years now, and I'm putting together and offering online and on Facebook Live or Zoom or different platforms that I'm learning to use right now. And as many people are, like, it's just incredible what's exploding right now. And I think it's making us closer together on some level, this social distancing thing. So that's it. I just wanted to share that. I wanted to put it out there that we're all going through, and everything we've been through these last few years have been preparing a lot of us to be in a more self-loving, empowered, compassionate place, a calm, within the storm and all of that, so that we can even assist others as this grand awakening happens and people are like, well, what's going on? And so to step into more of a leadership role, if that's what's being asked of us. And I'm willing, and I feel responsible on some level with, what I can share to assist people. If you want to reach me, I'm going to put my coordinates underneath. Right now, obviously, my place, Regeneration Oasis, is not it's not accessible, but online, and I'm looking to assist in different ways. So I hope this was helpful. I did pick a card from my Starseed Oracle deck that I'd like to share, and it's called Trust the Timing. All these cards usually, like, I find that they just speak to what needs to be said in the moment, like, so perfectly. And again, it's trusting. It's like the messages from source, from divine, from your higher self are coming through always in so many beautiful ways when you start to notice that. And it just gives us a sense of like, oh yes, I'm I'm on my path. I'm here. I can live a beautiful life no matter what's going on outside or around, or I from within as without, my reality um, can be absolutely beautiful. So trust the wave that you came in on. Time is not running out. So often, those who feel like they're here for a reason sense that time is running out, and they spend their life worrying that they might miss their moment. I used to I used to do that a lot. I would like, and even this ascension thing, I'm like, well, when is it happening? When is the great solar flash and the event? Like, am I going to be ready? And it's like, yeah, you're ready. You came in for this. You just forgot, and now you're remembering, and now it's all there within you. The Christ light being, the Kundalini, it's all within you. So all you have to do is start to connect with it and start trusting it. And a lot of it happens even just through breath, which is another thing I'd like to mention. I would have been in Bali right now with Christabel and Breath of Bliss, but I'm doing it online with her, and I'm going to put underneath. I'm going to put the breath work that she does, because it's so powerful, and she's such a beautiful angel on earth, like in service and in such heart radiance that it's contagious. And I love her, and I'm so grateful to be on the journey with her as a teacher and a guide. And so yeah, yeah, but the only way to miss your life or your moment is to spend your time worrying about missing it. It's never too late to answer a calling, and you're never too old. The tides of your life are magnificently orchestrated to come in and out in perfect unison. Don't race ahead and ride a wave that was never meant for you. You'll waste your precious time and energy when instead you could be enjoying your life. Everything has a season, and you're being called to trust the one you're in. Don't let impatience, comparison, competition, or paranoia disturb the seeds. It seems that everyone has anxiety these days, constantly scanning for something they might have missed or a possible threat. Wow, that's pretty accurate right now. Keeping our mind and body pointed in the same direction as our soul is near impossible at such reactive speeds. So, right now, you're being reminded to take a breath and trust the wave you came in on, to trust the season you're in. Time isn't running out, there's plenty of time. There's no rush, and it is never too late. So, how can you trust the timing of your life a little more? So, yeah, I think these inspirational cards and books and different channels that are, but again, a lot of people are into channeling and things like that. But to go within your own, to find your own answers, to just tune everything out, it's actually being required right now, because there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere, so many things are closed, and so this is a perfect time to do that. And yeah, so thank you for listening. It was a little bit longer, but it was important for me to get that out there tonight. Um, we never know, people come and go in our lives. Like I said, it was my daughter's birthday today, but 5 days ago I lost my grandfather, who was 99 and had a beautiful life. But I'm glad I got to see him before this whole thing, and just to make the most of all our relations, our relationships, to make peace, and from with ourselves, and then with everybody that we've ever been with, or um, just to forgive. And Ho'oponopono is a wonderful way to do that as well. That is very helpful. But if we're going through moments that through this ascension where there's pain or sadness or anxiety, it's normal. We can move through it and then put it behind us. As we ascend, we let the baggage go and we polish, who we actually are. Um, and it's a beautiful journey. So thank you so much for listening. I'll put, as I said, my coordinates underneath, and I'm wishing you all the best on this Easter Passover week. Take good care. Bye.